The Stockcar 2018 is another of the big news delivered to the sim and with the July roadmap on rFactor 2, and that's what we are addressing here. Hi guys, welcome to another review video, and please subscribe to the channel in order to be fully updated with what I'm delivering. I'm Jorge Cabrita, your host here at On Wheels TV, and this is the Centennial, one of the three cars which are part of the Stockcar 2018 mod for rFactor 2. This is big news in terms of car releases for the sim, an official Studio 397 release for rFactor 2, and the news arrived to the community through the July roadmap for rFactor 2 that had some important stuff revealed, such as a new track or a new version of a track, Loch Drummond, that we already delivered in a video, the Stockcar 2018, and two new cars that will be released to the GT3 content. So we drove, or preferably, guys, sorry, I'm so used to that, I drove this car the cars from this mod in three different tracks, all from machines, so not official tracks, but in my opinion the best oval tracks currently available for rFactor 2. I brought three tracks to this video: a speedway, a short track, and a super speedway, in order to be able to share with you guys my thoughts on this release in three different surfaces, or in three different tracks. I also drove the three cars, the three different brand cars from fictitious brands, because Studio 397 does not have an official NASCAR license, so they call this mod the Stockcar. We all know it's based in the NASCAR car, and they created three fictitious brands because in reality NASCAR has three real brands involved. At the same time as I'm providing you with my feedback on these cars, I'll be letting you know what is or what was the mindset for this release and what's in its changelog, its current changelog. So first of all, let you guys know that Studio 397 preferred to release this car based on the 2018 NASCAR car, a car which had 750 horsepower, 200 horsepower more than the current car. So the car in 2020 has 550 horsepower, but Studio 397 wanted to provide the users of this mod with a better feel of the NASCAR car, which in their opinion is better with the more powerful car, so a 750 horsepower car. And after testing this, I can tell you guys that I definitely agree with their approach, because one of the things you'll notice after driving this car, I'm driving it here now in Michigan Speedway, a track which I found very similar in terms of the layout and of the viewing, that compared to the one you see and use on iRacing, which is the better sim for oval content, in my opinion at least. But I felt this track was very similar in terms of how it looks and in terms of how it feels to drive. So although this is not a laser scan track, although this is not an official track, it does justice to the real track and to the laser scan track available on iRacing. So it does provide, or it did provide me with a proper feel in order to compare the cars. And first, let me tell you that I enjoyed very much the feel of the car. So it's contact there. You're going to see it now from a different camera. So the way we feel the car is very good. The physics is very well tuned and developed for this mod. So I've tested this car also from the 2015 version, which is the one in which this release or this mod is based, then developed to the 2018 standards. But I did enjoy very much the feel of the car. So if you are expecting to find great feel in these cars, and you are thinking of testing them in rFactor 2, you'll enjoy very much the result, because the cars feel very nice to drive. Let me tell you, just in terms of changelog, that while we are already watching another track, Bristol. So this is Bristol, and this is a short track, different one, very much involving us in the driving, and a track where I also enjoyed very much the feel of these cars. And here you are already watching me drive the Edgar, which is another fictitious brand of the second of the three fictitious brands in this release. So this car is now in version 2. It was developed tire compounds, or if you prefer, a new tire compound was developed for 24 tracks that are available in the sim. So Studio 397 worked with the content that is already part of the sim, although not official content. The default setups for each track were tweaked. There was a balance of performance tweak for each of the tracks. Engine torque was tweaked per dyno sheet information based on a stock car engine. 3D bottles exported from the 3D bottles exported have already the new PBR physically based rendering shaders. Templates were updated with regions and contingency layer, and the aero package was also adjusted to represent the 2018 package. So this is what pretty much is determined in the changelog of this release. So one thing you notice watching from the onboard camera is that there are some bugs, visual bugs in this track, which I was not finding in the previous track, Michigan. But like I felt in Michigan, the car feels really good on track. If I compare this with the car on iRacing, the Cup car on iRacing, I'll notice that in terms of the power, you feel how intense this car is. It does provide us with a lot of grip, such as it happens on iRacing. What I noticed and what I see as a minus here is the fact that these tracks are not laser scanned. So in some of them, you miss the bumps that you have in reality when driving these tracks on iRacing, because they are laser scanned. So there's more detail provided to the track that then is you feel it when you are driving the car, and the car on iRacing is pretty good. The oval car, yeah, it is pretty good. This one is also pretty good. You feel a lot the power, and in terms of the handling, there are a lot of similarities, which says pretty much on how good this model is. The tire is also very good. The new tire they developed for this mod is also very good. Its wear is coherent. It is also consistent with what you find in terms of the wear when you are driving this car on iRacing. So you start losing first performance in the right front tire, but almost immediately in the right rear tire, and unless you spin or hit a wall or something, this wear is pretty consistent. Yeah, it's pretty consistent on the basis of losing 1% of the wear of the tire on each maybe 1 to 2 laps, depending on how large is the track you are driving on. This is the final track you see in this video, also from Machine. Machine even has a selection of tracks that you can download all together on Steam, and in my opinion these are the best tracks from what is available in the sim currently, and there are a lot of oval tracks. The ones from Machine are overall, in my opinion, the most good looking in terms of the graphics, and the better in terms of the feel when you are driving in them. This is Talladega, where I drove the Titan, so the third fictitious brand. As I mentioned earlier, those are Centennial, Edgar, and Titan. This is the Titan, and I wanted to experience in this long track, this super speedway. I wanted to experience the car in terms of the feel, in terms of the aero, and also, in very important, in terms of the aero when it goes using draft from a car behind him or a car ahead of him, because that's very important in a super speedway, and that is something that is very good also on iRacing. As I mentioned earlier, guys, please subscribe to the channel so that you can be updated with all I am releasing in several sim racing platforms. I'm basically working at the moment with all the most important sim racing platforms, and I'll bring them all to you in videos in this channel, and also in my sim racing channel, Jorge Cabrita Sim Racing, which you'll find the description below, in the description of this video, and also the link. Yeah, so I did drive quite a number of laps in this track. Lots of them I was alone, so I was not taking advantage or providing advantage in terms of draft, in terms of slipstream to other cars. But later you'll notice that that car that is already getting close to me in the rear, as you can see, that red and black car, is going to provide me with better pace, because once he's behind me, he's sort of pushing me, providing me with some drag, while I provide him also with some drag, and both of us will increase substantially our speed. So all in all, this release is very good. I already enjoyed very much the 2015 mod. This is an update. This is a better version. The graphics look better. They could look better also, but that depends also on the track, and I believe that most of these tracks are not up to standards yet in terms of PBR shaders, in terms of the lighting, in terms of what is rFactor 2 lately in terms of graphics, and what they are delivering in some of their official tracks. I believe that most of these tracks still do not have that. That also has an influence on how the car looks on the exterior. I also think that Studio 397 could improve the look of the cars, although they are fictitious. They could improve the look of the cars. I don't pretty much like the design of the models, but what I do like very much is how this car feels on track. So it all was updated in these cars compared to previous versions. They now have a reworked aerodynamics, a better and proper center of gravity. Shocks are better. The default setups are good. Because most of the time when you drive cars on rFactor 2, you notice that the default setups are, well, they are far from good, and you need to develop them in order to have the proper feel that these cars provide in an excellent sim, which is rFactor 2, a sim where the physics is so important. I noticed that these cars are very good in terms of what they feel, these stock cars. I think honestly that the guy that uses rFactor 2, the medium driver that chooses rFactor 2, is better than the medium driver who chooses iRacing. So you have quite a number of very good drivers on iRacing, but then the average quality driver on iRacing is, in my opinion, far worse than the average driver who searches for rFactor 2, because the feeling the cars provide on rFactor 2 is substantially more defined in terms of the comparison with cars in reality. For that matter, I think that the average audience of rFactor 2 is more demanding, and being that the case, I think they will very much enjoy what they are going to find here with this mod. Guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please provide me with your comments below, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.